Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through compelling sources to pull out those knowledge nuggets, the ones that make you instantly better informed. Today, we're looking at something that honestly challenges how most of us think about indoor gardening. We found this really fascinating observation on a gardening blog, a pretty well-regarded one, suggesting that, well, maybe the way we pot plants individually is missing something.
Right. And, the standard practice, as you know, listener, it's usually one plant, one pot. Simple.
Yeah, you get a fern, it gets its own pot, arrowhead vine, same deal. It's clean, it works.
It's manageable, definitely.
But manageable isn't always visually exciting, is it? This source argues it can be a bit sterile, even.
Okay. They propose something different. Taking several distinct species, plants that look quite different, and planting them together, densely, in one container. Interesting. So moving away from that solo plant look.
Exactly. And the payoff they describe isn't just nice. It's a striking, lush display, like way beyond what you get with individual pots.
Okay. Striking and lush. Those are strong words.
Yeah.
Almost like a shortcut to getting that high-end conservatory vibe in your own home. So, okay, let's unpack this. What makes this combined method work? What are the rules? That's our mission today.
Yeah.
Give you the blueprint. And that's important, isn't it? It can't just be chucking 3 random plants in a big pot.
No, definitely not.
There have to be reasons why certain plants work together. Compatibility, design, strategy.
Yeah.
Something that stops it looking like, well, a mess.
Exactly. It needs to look deliberate, not just crowded. So let's start with the basics. What is this technique? The source calls it a dish garden.
Dish garden. Okay, maybe not the most glamorous name.
Maybe not. But forget the name for a second. The core idea is planting multiple species, planting them densely in one big container. It's about concentration, impact.
Okay, density. Now, the first thing that springs to my mind, and probably yours too, listener, is, well, viability. Looks great in the photo, sure, but long term. Don't the roots compete? Are you basically sacrificing plant health for a short-term look?
That's the million-dollar question, right? You hear dense planting indoors and you think root rot, pests, fighting for space.
Yeah, resource competition. But here's the key. The success hinges entirely on picking species that are culturally compatible. That's the term they use, culturally compatible,
Meaning they need the exact same conditions, same light, same water, same humidity, everything.
Okay. So the visuals only work because the underlying needs match up. That's the actionable insight.
Precisely. And this specific observation, the one we're digging into, it highlights a successful combo of 3 particular plant types.
All right, let's get specific. What are we talking about?
Give us the names. The technical ones are good, but maybe the common names too, so you can actually picture them.
Of course. So the source really leans on 2 types of Calathea. First up is Calathea rosipicta.
Rosipicta, okay.
You probably know it as the medallion Calathea, or maybe painted leaf Calathea. It's got those amazing broad, roundish leaves, often with pink or silvery edges, like little painted medallions.
The medallion. Yes, gorgeous plant. Big visual impact on its own. What's the second Calathea? Its partner in this setup is Calathea lancifolia, common name. Rattlesnake plant.
Rattlesnake. Okay, very different vibe.
Totally different. Long, slender leaves, almost spear-like.
Wow.
Wavy edges, and usually that really distinct dark green pattern on top, kind of like, well, rattlesnake skin, often purple underneath, too.
Wow, okay, so just putting those 2 together, the round medallion and the long, wavy rattlesnake, you've already got serious contrast in shape.
Instantly. Broad discs meet narrow spears.
Who's the third player in this?
The third one is Aglaonema. You'll know it as Chinese evergreen.
Chinese evergreen, a classic, very reliable.
Incredibly reliable, and it's key here because it provides volume, bulk. Aglaonema comes in tons of varieties, lots of different leaf patterns, greens, silvers, reds, pinks, and it tends to grow upright and bushy, fills things out.
Right.
So you combine those 3, medallion, rattlesnake, Chinese evergreen, you put them close together, and boom, instant density, fullness. It looks established right away. Okay, but let's circle back to that viability question you raised. Why these 3 specifically? What makes them compatible beyond just looking good together?
They're technical soulmates, essentially. They all want the exact same environment.
Meaning, consistently moist soil, but crucially, not waterlogged. They hate wet feet. They all prefer indirect light, maybe even low light for some Aglaonemas. And the big one, high humidity. High humidity.
They're all basically rainforest understory plants. Think about where they grow naturally.
Shady, damp forest floors. Exactly. And another thing, their root systems. Generally, they're fibrous and relatively shallow. They don't send down huge, aggressive tap roots so they can share the space. In a big enough pot, they won't immediately start strangling each other.
Pretty much. As long as the container is adequate, they can coexist quite happily. It's not like mixing, say, a cactus that wants to be bone dry with a fern that drinks constantly.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like they share the same geological address book, almost. The success isn't just about aesthetics, it's rooted in matching their natural needs.
Perfect way to put it. The cultural needs alignment underpins the visual success.
So we've got the specific plants, and the why because their needs align.
Now for the how. How do we arrange these three compatible plants so they go beyond just together in a pot and become genuinely striking?
Right. Deployment, that's the next stage. The blog mentions 4 specific design principles. This is the blueprint bit for getting that really lush, intentional look.
And what's interesting is these aren't some secret gardener's code. They're basic principles of composition. You see them in painting, interior design.
Okay, lay them on us. What's first? Well, the first 2 really work together. Textural contrast and variety. And we kind of touched on that already with the plant choices, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Think about it. The Aglaonema often has smoother leaves, maybe a bit leathery. It provides that base volume.
Okay.
Then the Rosopicta, the medallion, brings in that broad, almost velvety, matte texture. Very different feel. And then, bam, the Lancifolia, the rattlesnake, introduces something completely different again. Rigid, maybe slightly corrugated, definitely wavy. Dramatic texture.
It's like using different materials in a room, isn't it?
Yeah.
If everything was smooth plastic, it'd be boring. You need the wood grain, the rough fabric, the cool metal.
Exactly. If all the leaves were the same shape and texture, even if there were lots of them, the whole display would just look flat, monotonous.
The contrast gives it energy, makes your eye move around.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That visual energy is vital. It creates interest. That tension between, say, the sturdy feel of the Aglaonema and the softer look of the Calathea.
Okay, texture and variety. Got it. What are the other 2 principles? You said 4. The other 2 are all about color. Focusing on color harmony and using complementary hues.
Color harmony. That sounds a bit restrictive. Especially with tropicals, they can be so vibrant. Wouldn't you just want to mix all the bright colors?
You'd think so, but no. That way lies visual chaos, usually.
Harmony means having a dominant color that anchors everything. In most of these tropical dish gardens, that's going to be green. Deep, rich green.
The base note.
Exactly. The other colors, the silvers from an Aglaonema, the pinks or reds on a Calathea, they need to complement that green base, not fight it or overwhelm it.
So the patterns on the medallion or the Chinese evergreen become accents, not the main event.
That's the idea. Think about the medallion Rosopicta often has those deep purple or magenta undersides. Or an Aglaonema might have slashes of pink or silver. Those are complementary hues. They pop against the green. But you use them strategically. Maybe keep them lower down, near the soil line, or just scattered through the planting.
So you're not putting a screaming pink plant right in the middle at eye level. You're using those colors like little highlights, points of interest within the green.
That's a great way to think about it, like little gems tucked into the foliage. If the whole thing was bright variegation, you'd lose that sense of lushness, that depth.
It would just be busy.
Right. So the key is using those colors to enhance the green and using them with a bit of restraint. It's blending all 4 things, texture, variety, harmony, complementary color, that makes it a unified, striking design, not just a jumble.
Okay, this is clicking now. Texture, variety, color harmony, careful use of accent hues. But why do these specific principles work so well for this type of planting? Here's where it gets really interesting.
Go on.
Because it's not just an abstract design exercise, is it? It connects back to what you said earlier about where these plants come from.
The rainforest understory connection.
Exactly. The whole point of this aesthetic using these tropicals is basically to recreate a mini jungle vibe indoors, right?
Absolutely. That high-density, humid, tropical feeling. That's the goal.
And how does it do that? By copying what actually happens on a rainforest floor, the layered density. If you've ever been in a real rainforest, plants aren't in neat rows. They're all growing over and under each other. There are layers. Ground cover, mid-level stuff, then taller things reaching for light.
And you can actually see that layering with our chosen plants, can't you?
Yeah. How would you assign the roles?
Well, you could think of the Aglaonema, the Chinese evergreen, as that robust mid-layer. It provides the structure, the consistent green volume.
Okay, the backbone.
Then the Calathea Rosopicta, the medallion, with its broad leaves. It feels more like a ground cover element, spreading out closer to the soil, catching low light, providing that pop of color near the base.
And the rattlesnake, the Lancifolia, with those upright, wavy leaves.
That can be your vertical accent. It breaks up the horizontal lines, adds height variation, maybe mimics taller, thinner plants reaching upwards.
So it's like a little architectural slice of the rainforest ecosystem. Understanding that you're mimicking that layered density makes the whole dense planting idea make sense. It's not a flaw, it's the entire point.
Precisely. It works visually because it reflects that natural arrangement. Which is why the source concludes, very rightly, that this is a style worth exploring, especially when you're working with these kinds of beautiful, compatible tropicals.
This has been super helpful, seriously. We
Yeah.
started just questioning the basic one plant, one pot rule.
And the answer seems to be this dish garden idea. Dense planting, multiple species, one container. But the key is twofold. First, pick the right plants like our trio. Calathea rosiopicta, C. lancifolia, Aglaonema that share identical needs. Technical compatibility, that's step one, non-negotiable. And step two is applying those design principles we talked about. Texture, variety, color harmony, complementary hues, using them to deliberately create that layered rainforest floor look.
Okay, so what does this all mean for us, the indoor gardeners? We know how it works aesthetically, how it works structurally based on plant needs, but thinking about that rainforest floor mimicry, does it go deeper?
How do you mean?
Well, if the whole success relies on copying the density and layering of their natural habitat, creating the shared high-humidity little world in the pot, does that mean this method isn't just prettier, but actually better for the plants?
Ah, you're thinking about the microenvironment.
Yeah. Could grouping them like this actually create more stable humidity right around their leaves? Maybe even buffer temperature changes better than a single plant sitting alone in a pot. Is it ecologically better for them beyond just looking good?
That is a fascinating question and a really provocative thought to leave things on. If you're essentially creating a more authentic microclimate by mimicking their home,
Then maybe the stunning look is just a happy side effect of giving them what they actually need to thrive.
could be. Maybe great design, in this case, is just really successful biomimicry, something definitely worth digging into further.
A fantastic point to ponder. Thanks so much for unpacking that with us. And thank you, listener, for joining this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.